Liverpool v everybody. Late night. Talk about the game. Actually, a whole day after. Is it? Yeah, I mixed up with my days. We got Labor Days here, so. But yeah. Anyway, just had a lot going on yesterday after the game. Every year in Baltimore, they have a house music festival. I love dance music. Definitely love house, so I was into that, and had a lot of stuff going on. But I want to talk about the game, and I'll touch a little bit on the Mo Salah thing, on my opinions, and then we'll leave it at that. Listen, it's good to see us get a clean sheet, and finish a game with 11 players. That's always good to see. I think, for me, not to be sort of a downer of the situation, I don't know what Aston Villa is doing. I do rate their manager, but for me, it seems like they have a few players out of position. I think McGinn is a fine player, but I believe he plays on the wing for them, which I think is really, really strange. And I don't know what's going on with Buendia. He's a really good player. I didn't see him, and then Jacob Ramsey. So I don't know if those guys are hurt or, fill me in. I don't really keep up with other teams and their transfers. Are they still even at Aston Villa? I kept hearing so much about their other winger whose name skips my mind right now. Diabi, maybe? Musa Diabi? Is that his name? There was so much hype about him going into this game, and I didn't really see much from him. So I don't know. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right areas. But yeah, for me, Aston Villa is one of those teams where they will get some results and things of that nature. Same like Newcastle. Like I think Newcastle was able to take advantage of a down season, if you will, with other teams. I honestly, I think the same with Arsenal. I'll get to that another day, but I think Arsenal is quite overrated, and I don't really love how they play necessarily. Anyway, back to the game against Aston Villa. Obviously, we got the win, but I still saw some things that just didn't look great to me. Some of the passing just wasn't there. And it's strange to me because some of the passing just seemed very simple, and I just feel like too many times we were just giving the ball away, and obviously it didn't hurt us. But speaking on that, I think defensively still there's some issues. I thought Gomez did pretty well, and that was good to see because he's, probably considered maybe with Matip as, the weakest link in central defense, but I thought he played really well. Look, it's good to get a win and get to get a clean sheet, but I still think there are things, and there's 4 games in the season, but there's still some things that need to be fixed. But, like I always say, I think particularly in this early part of the season, it's really about getting points on the board, preferably 3 from the games you play. And look, we got that. So you can't really be too upset. And for the things that have gone on against us, for us this season so far, to still be undefeated. And I think we're the team that has the most consecutive matches unbeaten dating back to late last season. I think it's 15, if I'm not mistaken. So that's good. But yeah, look, it's good to get a victory. Szoboszlai or Szoboszlai, however you say his name, he's an incredible player, and I'm glad that we have him. The amount of running he does, though, does worry me. I think he's played 90 minutes at least 3 of the 4 games, if not all 4. I could be mistaken on that, but a lot of hard running, man. And this guy, as for a season, that's something that you really got to keep an eye on. I don't know his injury record. It's probably not bad, but no, I'm happy that we got the guy, and the things that he does in our team is great. And it's just good to see we even had an 8 for I don't know how long who can do some of the things that he can do. Shoot from out the box. Obviously, the running, even the tracking back and getting stuck in. Shout out to McAllister for playing the 6 again, which is not a position that I feel like it becomes natural to him, but he's done a great job each time he's been in that position. So, big shout to him. Nunez, he's got to be one of the most unlucky players in the world. Big shout for the Newcastle situation, but the chances this guy gets, it's incredible. And you just sort of feel bad for him because he can't really capitalize on these sometimes. So, but I think that I hope that that's something that changes. Like I said before, I feel like Nunez, not just based on the game yesterday, but just sort of what he can. I feel like he may be suited being a guy that comes off the bench. You know, yeah, you start him in games for sure. And obviously you feel like he gets the start because of what happened at Newcastle, but there'll be games he'll start, be it injury or just because that's the rotation or that's just what maybe in training or a certain sort of tactic or, you know, Klopp wants to do based on the team we're playing, you know, to get Nunez to run in behind with the speed. In terms of our forwards, he probably is the fastest. I think he's probably even faster than Salah at this point. So, yeah, love the guy, and you know, look forward to seeing him the next game after that, and all that. I just feel like it's just so unfortunate that he can be so sort of on point, but not. Like, you know, I think he had 2 shots that hit the bar. You know, I mean, if half of the chances that he's missed in his career at Liverpool, if he made half of those, they'd probably be talking about him like they talk about that guy in Manchester City. You know, because he's getting in the right places. It was really, sorry about that, a couple vehicles going by. It was really just really on fire in that first half. You know, just being in and around everything we did positive going forward for the most part. So shout out to Nunez. You know, those, you know, sort of those unlucky moments, I think we can shed those, or he can shed those sooner than later. Either way, he's a huge sort of asset to the team, and look forward to him sort of getting back in a goal scoring form. Salah, I'll end with this. Listen, if it's me, I'm taking the $2 million, if that's even true. I'm hearing that $2 million is being quoted as sort of the next bid that the people over in Saudi are putting up. I think you take that $2 million, and I don't think you even sneeze at that. I mean, look, at the end of the day, January is not too far away. You can get a winger, a right back, and a central defender for $2 million, maybe even more than that. Maybe another midfielder. Maybe you get, hey, what's up, bro? Maybe you get a legit 6. You know, a guy that you and nothing against Endo, but a guy who really is going to be in there and breaking up stuff and the sort of controlling things. But look, Salah's good. He's not getting any younger. I think he's got a year left on his contract. He hasn't really impressed me much this season. But look, and you know, Salah, obviously we know what he's done for Liverpool and all that, but I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not one of those guys that are such a big fan of a player over the team. And I feel like when you look at Mo Salah and you look at $200 million, how can you not take that? How? Yeah, so I mean, that you can add into whatever else we have, and we can have sort of a whole, maybe a continue of this rebuild in January. You can get at least 2-3 players in January with that money. So not to say Liverpool would do that, but I would think that they would, to sort of get a guy on that right, because we don't have anybody really who you can really look at and say, all right, this dude. Or I mean, you could have Szoboszlai there, you know, and have Gravenberch and McAllister and whoever else, Thiago will come back at some point, Curtis Jones, whoever else you want to have in that midfield. But to me, it's a no-brainer. You don't even, that's not something you even think twice about personally. So anyway, just wanted to get on here and try to be consistent with these videos. I know this one is late, but you know, I definitely wanted to come on. Always had intentions of coming on after the game. And like I said, big up to the boys for getting the victory and playing a pretty good game. And again, it's really about getting those points. At this juncture, this part of the season, it's really about getting points. And you always want to get points before the international break. And as Liverpool fans, we know how that feels when we don't, and we're waiting for that whole break to end, and so we can sort of get back into winning ways. But much love to everybody. Hope everybody's well. Your families are well. You're keeping your health up. I'll see you guys soon.